Thierry Mugler with an oversized face, Renee Zellweger who overdid it with botox, or Janet Jackson who may soon lose her nose. Sit back and relax. Here are the people from the world of celebrities who have abused, and not just a little, of plastic surgery. Ethan Bramble is a young Australian Instagrammer of 25 years old who is fascinated by the world of tattoos and body modifications. He is so passionate about it that he decided to make a living out of it. Ethan started very early at the age of 11 to modify his body, covering himself with tattoos from head to toe to give himself evil looks. The Australian began the body modifications by piercing his ears. A little later, he was injected with black ink in the eyeball and cut his tongue in two. Classic. But since then, he has flattened his belly thanks to a surgery to remove part of his auricular lobe and to be able to wear big cylindrical curls to lengthen and distend his lobes, as well as other oddities of the kind. Bramble now has no less than 150 tattoos, a dozen piercings, and still wants to continue in this delirium. The tattoos currently cover 80% of his body, including his face and the back of his skull. The young man plans to have a maximum of them to leave no inch of his skin empty. But there are consequences to all of this. Ethan has come close several times to being severely disabled as a result of the surgeries he has undergone. He says with nostalgia and emotion that once he could see his viscera while the surgeon was operating on his belly button, and at another time he almost went blind from the ink injected into his eyes. As for the aftermath of his tongue surgery, it was extremely complicated. The pain was so unbearable for him that he could not eat for several days and had to be hospitalized for that. But to hear him talk, these complications and mishaps do not prevent him from wanting to invest blindly in this passion, since he is now considering having an implant inserted in his penis. Let's hope he doesn't have any complications, otherwise it's going to be very bad for him. But if all this serves at least to make him happy. Herbert Chavez is a Filipino who is very passionate about the hero Superman. He loves the way he flies, his look, his presence, his muscles. He is so much a fan that one day he decided to look like him. And not only by wearing the underwear over the shorts. Of course, as it is very difficult for him to have the same face, his chocolate bars, and this incredible musculature, he chose the way of the facility. He made himself operate, and not only once. The Filipino has undergone a total of 23 operations. Just that. Herbert Chavez had dimples installed on his chin, had a nose job, changed the color of his eyes from brown to blue, and put the legendary quiff in his head. 15 years and 23 surgeries later, he went from that to this. To perfect his likeness, he now needs to have a flat stomach, and for that, well, you'll have to sweat a little. In any case, by letting himself be carried away by this passion, the young Filipino lost his true identity, since he does not look like the young people of his country, but he confides to be filled like that, and it is the most important. Thierry Mugler is a great name in French fashion. He dresses and makes beautiful women from all over the world by bringing them a lot of elegance. One day, the French couturier suffered a serious accident that seriously disfigured him. He ended up with a completely destroyed body. 2 vertebrae were pinched, 1 leg was shorter than the other, and one of his feet had lost a waist. Recovering miraculously, he decided to remedy his injuries, not by trying to return his face to what it was before, but by changing it completely. As he stated, Mugler wanted to reconstruct another face that would allow him to assert his talent as an artist and stylist. He wanted to reconstruct it as he does with his models and his dresses, but rest assured, he didn't do it himself. Mugler spent a lot of time in the operating room, engaged in an extreme makeover by doing diets, facelifts, facial reconstructions, and getting prosthesis implanted. The only problem in this story is that with his new face, few people can recognize him, but he has to deal with it. According to him, the radical reconstruction of his face was necessary. Since it was completely disfigured, he might as well make a brand new one. The French designer is happy to have finally managed to put things in order. Mugler now proudly displays a new body, which he compares to a work detached from him, and not only detached. It was at the age of 7 that Janet Jackson went on stage for the first time in Las Vegas with her brothers. By the way, take a good look at this picture. You think it's Michael Jackson, but it's not. It's true that when he was alive, Michael Jackson was extravagant enough to appear in public with lipstick and mascara on his eyes. But it was Janet Jackson in this photo. And it is probably for this reason that Janet Jackson wanted to resort to plastic surgery so that she could be differentiated from the Jackson brothers. And the least we can say is that Janet didn't go halfway. The American star has never been satisfied with the face that nature offered her, and she went a little too far in the surgery, a little like her brother. It seems that the excessive retouching is a family affair in the Jackson family. This desire to find her youth and femininity was even more accentuated when at the age of 50, she gave birth for the first time to her little Isa. Her figure has been resculpted several times, and she has had many facelifts. But what has been most striking since her recent appearance on the red carpet is her new nose. I say new because she had it done once before at the age of 16. It looks good from afar, but according to Dr. Matthew Schulman, a New York-based plastic surgeon who has never worked for Janet Jackson and who was asked the question, the famous American singer may lose her nose soon. Concerned about the health of Janet Jackson's nose, the doctor said it was on the verge of collapse due to severe nostril retraction, surely caused by several previous surgeries that resulted in injuries to the underlying cartilage support of the nose. There you have it, so it's clear. Janet Jackson may be very proud of her nose, but she has at least warned that she could lose it at any moment, and then she would look much more like her late brother who, after undergoing rhinoplasties, had almost no nose left. Renee Zellweger is one of the most famous movie stars in the United States. Appearing on the poster of the film Bridget Jones's Diary, the actress was a great success in the mythical role of Bridget Jones. However, as time went by, other rising stars of the cinema appeared, and the image of Renee Zellweger tarnished. The star has changed a lot since the release of the film in the 2000s. She then decided to disappear from the radar for a long time, but when she reappeared, everyone found Renee Zellweger changed. So much so that many wondered if she had undergone plastic surgery to look as young and as fresh as her debut in the cinema. Rumors that have pissed off our dear Renee, who said that she had not undergone surgery and that she had not touched her eyes. And yet, we all noticed during her media reappearances that Renee Zellweger had a face that did not have the slightest wrinkle. A smooth forehead, wide eyes frozen, a perfectly drawn mouth nevertheless sporting a small nervous grin of painful appearance. It would seem that Renee Zellweger may not have undergone surgery, but she has obviously succumbed to injections. And unfortunately, by abusing these injections that are a priori less radical than operations, the star of Bridget Jones has ended up losing its freshness. Nevertheless, the American star says she feels good about herself like this. Of course, she will never be able to compete with today's sparkling stars, but if it helps her to live better, it's already something. You are scrolling through the internet and you come across a wonderful offer that encourages you to perform some minor surgery to refresh your face, make you look a few years younger, and perfect your face. This offer is tempting and you want to give in to the temptation. Well, no worries, but first I want to show you something. If you decide to take the path of plastic surgery, be sure that in a few decades, you won't look like this. No, this is not a Halloween costume. This is a real woman who had several botched surgeries. At 68 years old, she doesn't look like anything, well, like a zombie. In reality, this is an impressive makeup job by Pinewood Studios, done on a mannequin. Done by a makeup artist, it was meant to raise the alarm about these destructive surgeries. The Instagrammer Weirdo Lewis posted several photographs and videos of this project to warn, shock, and inform viewers about the dangers of plastic surgery. This living Barbie, as he called it, is supposed to shock, to make people aware that the ideal of beauty that society instills in us is extreme and dangerous, and that nothing beats the real natural beauty that never ceases to remind us who we really are, despite the passage of time. Are you shocked? Maybe even terrified at the sight of this monster? Well, that was the point. I'm sure you quickly close the page and find yourself looking awfully gorgeous as you are. You are now well convinced. You have certainly heard the sound Save Your Tears, the new song of The Weeknd, present on the album After Hours released on March 19, 2020. And if you have surely not missed the clip where you were shocked to see the look of the singer. You then wondered how he could take the step of plastic surgery while he is still in the prime of his life. So where is The Weeknd you know? Do you want to know? Well, we tell you everything, prepare to be surprised. In the video, the American singer removes his bandages to reveal a face that closely resembles that of the Bogdanov brothers. And as if it was not enough, he even posted a photo of him on his Instagram account to make the world talk about his new puffy face. And it worked. You're probably also one of those people who deduced that The Weeknd got tempted by plastic surgery and got caught in the surgeon's net. Some even wondered if the singer had not developed a real complex about his physical appearance, because to get to that point, what a waste. Well, not at all. In reality, these swellings and puffiness were only prosthesis, and they were created by the expert hands of the artist Mike Marino. He is also the one behind the incredible metamorphosis of the actor Joaquin Phoenix in the movie Joker. This operation, if I can use the term, was orchestrated during the shooting of his clip. Because admit it, you still thought he was handsome. Don't worry now. The Weeknd will keep his sexy little face for a few more years. Except if... But now you have an idea of what he could look like one day if he succumbs to temptation. So you won't be shocked. So what do you think of these people who have abused plastic surgery too much? Do you think you will ever resort to it? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to put a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications and not miss anything of our next contents.